Welcome in, everyone, to TYT Sports. I am Rick Strom. Definitely not your hostess with the mostest. It doesn't matter because a guy named Shaquem Griffin is the guy with the mostest, or whatever the hell. So we have seen in the past the psyche been questioned of guys like a Randy Moss, per se. And we have seen even the physical questions of a guy like Frank Gore, who tore his ACL twice in college. Yet there's Shaquem Griffin, who has been defying the odds from a very, very young age. Take a look, and then we'll continue.
The 3 points here in the first half. Griffin gets right into the backfield, and he gets Stidham down.
To be a Michigan linebacker. Oh, this ball popped right into the hands of Shaquem Griffin.
Shaquem Griffin let no obstacles stand in his way.
So, as you saw right there, the highlights are incredible for someone who has had to overcome so much. Now, we showed you a glimpse of it. We will show you it again right now, where him and his brother Shaquille, born 60 seconds apart, both of them would have a very interesting road through Shaquem's life. And here is what occurred. Tangi, his mom, gave birth to two kids, as you see right here, and there were complications. The doctor answered the questions and explained the options. It, as in his left hand, could be taken off with a needle, but even the slightest move could have punctured either of the twins, and it was possible one wouldn't survive. I was not going to take that chance, rightfully so. So they were born 60 seconds apart, as I stated, and she absolutely knew that things were going to be a bit different. So take a look at that.
When he brought him to me, I took the blanket off, and then that's what I saw, his hand.
So what he recalls as well throughout that entire difficult process was when he was at the age of 4, and you could look at some of the pictures when he was a youngster as well. Now focus on his left hand. It's not necessarily there as you're seeing in the pictures. And here is what he went on to say a little bit later on. My mom took me to a room the next day after he complained and went to the kitchen, took a knife and nearly cut off his fingers from the pain. And all I remember is them putting a mask on me. When I woke up, I had a bandage on my hand and all I wanted was to get out of there. It was tough until I had my fingers removed, but after that I knew I was going to play again. The pain was gone. It didn't hurt when the ball hit. So on top of all of that, he was doubted time and time and time again. Yet, through this amniotic band syndrome, he overcame many odds and found a way to train in his home gym as well. Take a look.
For the dip bar, I use this for the dip bar and also the push-ups right here. So as I go up, he holds it and just keeps me even. I use this for curls and it straps on right here. And as it hook down, it hangs. So it allows me to curl. As you see right here, my brother holds it right here for it won't slide.
There are different ways in order for someone to achieve their dreams. And Shaquem Griffin certainly did not give up at any single turn that he had throughout the course of his life, and up to the point that he is right now, which I'll get into in just a moment, where he killed the combine. So here are some of his high school highlights, as you're going to see. He has the lateral movement that anyone would love to have in college. He lays out big hits, as many would love to have. His instincts are there. He understands the game, it seems, to a degree that some, because of what they have had to do in order to get to this point, will never have, which is the complete skill set that Shaquem Griffin has. There was interest via 247 Sports. Central Florida was certainly one of them. Cincinnati gave him an offer. Toledo threw him an offer, along with Akron, Ball State, Bowling Green. Houston was another one that was pretty surprising. And then also Minnesota. But he went on to say, or excuse me, his brother Shaquille went on to say, we were a package deal. It started when we were young. That was the type of bond we had. When scholarships came in, we kept it the same way. So then, of course, what happened? Central Florida came calling and they signed their letter of intent. So take a look at that and then we'll come back.
I want you to remember February 6th of 2013. That's a date that many people did not think would ever happen. I'm talking about the Griffin brothers signing letters of intent to play college football at the University of Central Florida.
So with all that being said, proceeding on a little bit further, here is what one scout told NFL.com. The old staff at Central Florida signed him just to make sure they got his brother. So just think about that for a second. He was basically used as a pawn. The new staff realized the guy was a player and plugged him in, and he wins Defensive Player of the Year. He doesn't have a left hand. That's going to limit him with some of the things, and that's going to hurt his draft value, but he's fast and athletic and makes a ton of plays. George O'Leary was the one, as you're seeing right here, that recruited both of them, got them both to commit. So what happened? He barely played, maybe 3 games in all, limited snaps. He appeared in 3 games. He didn't play a full, complete 3 games. And then Scott Frost comes in, and he's like, well, hang on a second. This kid is awesome. And then, of course, what happens on top of that? He succeeds under Scott Frost. Limitations and all with his left hand. How great was he? According to Sports Reference, which you're seeing right here, first 2 years, he ended up redshirting as well. After that, 2-year starter, first team and second team All-American Athletic Conference selection, 195 tackles, 122 of them by himself, 18 and a hook sacks. He was even named Peach Bowl MVP against Auburn. His final award was the Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year, where he beat out 154 nominees. He also ended up playing in the Senior Bowl, and we have a highlight that goes to show just how much potential he has as an edge rusher in a 3-4 defense. Could you see that he didn't have a hand? Couldn't you just see the ball instincts that he had? The ability to maneuver around an potential NFL offensive lineman? Well, I certainly could. Here is one of the pictures that you need to see, and every other scout will be looking at. It's football, man. Anyone can overcome any odds at any point in time, whether it's psychological or physical, and he has certainly done that. So then what did he do? Well, he killed it at the combine after being a late invite on January the 30th. There he is with the bench press, and just for reference, he did 20 with a prosthetic. Orlando Brown, meanwhile, of Oklahoma, who's viewed as a future first-round pick, did 14. Oh yeah, and by the way, he also crushed the 40-yard dash. Take a look at that, and then we'll come back.
Shaquem Griffin. Hello.
It's funny because as we're watching it again, everyone in the studio is like, man, kid can play. I didn't put it in, but Pete Carroll also had an incredible reaction to this when he was up in the skyboxes there at Lucas Oil. Ryan Shazier tweeted, Shaquem Griffin was flying around 4.38. He's not messing around. Richard Sherman tweeted, if Shaquem Griffin doesn't get drafted in the first 2 days, the system is broken. Productive and performed well at the combine, played well against high-level competition. About the prosthetic, we went to get it fitted for me, and when I started lifting, I could barely bench the bar. I mean, I'm shaking all over the place, the bar is falling, I can't lift 45, but it just goes to show how much work I put in to get to this point from shaking with the bar. And then a few GMs chimed in. You wouldn't notice it watching him play, said Chargers general manager Tom Telesco. You just don't, as in the limitations on his hand. It's something you'd have to talk to the trainers about and see what his reactions would be moving forward. So general manager Steve Keim at the Cardinals, a little weary. Putting players in a position to succeed, that would be a key. Can he do the things we ask him to do? There have been so many that have been doubted so many times over. Shaquem Griffin, unfortunately, is going to be doubted. Talking to an NFL source, it appears that he's going to be at least a 4th or 5th round selection. He's going to be viewed mainly as a special teams player, but do not doubt through the source, through any others in the NFL, that he can absolutely play at the next level, and he can be an outside linebacker in a 4-3 or an edge rusher in the 3-4. So let us know all of your thoughts. Get at me on Twitter, @Strom as well, where you stand on Shaquem Griffin.